Welcome back to Changfied YouTube channel, your trusted source for latest updates. Today we bring you very serious and emotional news coming from South Sudan. These are stories about violence, displacement, politics, and international talk that could shape the future of the country. In this video, we will cover deadly attack in Tonj, government relocation in Upper Nile, political tension involving first by President Dr. Tonj, and important diplomatic talk in South Africa. Before we proceed, I would like you to help the channel if you are new. Help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video you can be notified. Let's begin our report with deadly attack in Tonj. We begin with tragic news from Tonj County in Warab State. According to the report, on March 17, early in the morning, army attacker entered cattle camp in an area called Pau. This attack happened around 3:30 a.m. when most people were asleep. Local authorities say the attacker are believed to have come from Mayom County in Unity State. The attack was very serious. According to the report, at least 11 people were killed and more than 24 others were injured. Many of the injured people suffered gunshot wounds. The attacker used heavy weapon, which made the situation worse, according to the report. According to the message from County Commissioner, he stated that the attacker clashed with cattle keeper in the area. Some of those killed were young men protecting their cattle. Other victims came from nearby Gogrial East County. These people had moved to Tonj because of a dry season, looking for better grazing land for their animals. So this is something very common in South Sudan. During dry season, communities move with their cattle to find water and grass, but sadly these movements sometimes lead to conflict. Local youth quickly respond to the attack. According to the information, they fought back and managed to push the attacker away. During the fighting, some weapons were captured from the attacker. Reports say that several guns were recovered, including AK-47, rifles, machine gun, and even rocket launchers. However, the exact number of attackers who were killed is still unknown. The injured people were taken to hospital in Wau and Kwajok for treatment. Another local leader confirmed the incident and say the fighting lasted for several hours. He also mentioned that some of the people who came to help defend the area were killed during the clashes. This shows how dangerous the situation was. Community leaders say this attack started late at night and continued into the early morning hour. There was also another separate incident just a day before where 2 people were killed in a different area. Authorities say they are now trying to track down those responsible. On the other side, officials from Mayom County confirmed that there were indeed warning before the attack. They say they had information that some youths were planning a raid, but the attack did not succeed in stealing cattle because people were already alerted. This raises many questions. Why are these attacks still happening? Why are communities continue to fight each other? These are issues that need serious attention. Let's move on to another serious report. Government move to Nasser. They now move to Upper State. Government has made a big decision. They have temporarily moved their capital from Malakal to Nasser County. According to the information, the governor of Upper State decided to move his office. Why did this happen? Because of ongoing insecurity and displacement caused by fighting last year. According to officials, an advance team has already arrived in Nasser. The governor is expected to join them soon. The government said this move is temporary but necessary. They want to continue providing service to the people without interruption. Officials are also trying to assure citizens and humanitarian organizations that Nasser is safe. They are encouraging NGOs and aid agencies to return and continue their work. Right now, the population in Nasser is not growing. Only a small number of people live there, not more than even 1,000. People are living there just frightened because there's always a clash between the youth and the SSPDF. That makes it very hard for civilians to live in Nasser. Many of these people are displaced. They lost their home because of fighting. Now they are looking for safety and support. But that's not what the civilians are saying. Civilians fear the government of SSPDF. Last year, Nasser experienced heavy fighting between government force and a local youth group known as the Nuer Y Army. At one point, the Y Army took control of military base before government force took it back. But they took it back without even fighting. There were also airstrikes which forced many civilians to flee, where the government itself used incendiary weapons and used chemical weapons to kill the innocent Nuer civilian. And that forced the Nuer civilian to flee Nasser. That's why we are hearing that only a small number of people live in Nasser town. There were also airstrikes, as you heard, indeed. Well, recently, local authorities wanted residents in some areas to move within 72 hours. This is an order coming from SSPDF. They wanted the Nuer civilian, Nuer Y Army, and the SPLIO. They gave them 72 hours to move. They say new military operation could take place soon. People were advised to move to safer areas, especially near the Sobar River. Aid workers were also told to relocate for their safety. This shows that even though the government say Nasser is safe, there are still concerns. People are living in uncertainty. They don't know what will happen next. But the government of South Sudan does not tell the truth because there's no civilian there, and yet they still want to move the office to Nasser. This is still something that we'll be hearing every day, what will actually happen in the future. And let's move on to another report. In this report, government reject call to release Dr. Machar. The government of South Sudan has responded to call from Choi leader. The church had asked the government to stop military operation and release political leader, including Dr. Riek Machar. But the government said no. They defended their action and said they are working to protect the country. According to the government, the situation in the country is getting worse, but they must enforce the law. They said the military operations are necessary because of security threat. The government also blames recent fighting on a group linked to the opposition. They claim that attacks were carried out against government position in different areas. While the government expressed concern about civilians, they refused to release Dr. Riek Machar. They say releasing him now would go against the law. They also warned that it could create a dangerous example for the justice system. Dr. Machar is facing serious charges. He is accused of being involved in deadly attack in Nasser last year. That attack reportedly killed many soldiers and caused major damage. However, his supporters disagree. They say his detention violates the peace agreement signed in 2018 between Dr. Machar and Kiir. This agreement was supposed to bring peace and allow power sharing between leaders. Regional organizations have also called for his release. They believe it could help reduce tension in the country. The government also criticized the church. They said religious leaders should not interfere. Religious leaders should not interfere, according to them. They should not interfere in political and legal matters. This has created tension between the government and the faith-based organization that wants South Sudan to have peace. At the same time, the government said it is still committed to dialogue and future election. This is also one of the lies that the government is telling the people of South Sudan. If they refuse to listen to the message from the church leader, what else remain? At the same time, when you look at this situation, this is a politically motivated indeed, because Kiir or President Salva Kiir Mayardit want to centralize the power. It does not want people to vote, or it doesn't want power to be taken by someone else. But not all political groups are included in this discussion. This raises concern about inclusivity and fairness. Let's move on to our final report. Let's look at international relations, South Sudan and South Africa talk. Officials from South Sudan and South Africa met in Pretoria. The meeting focused on cooperation, peace, and future election in South Sudan. South Sudan Minister of Presidential Affairs met with South African Minister of International Relations. They discussed how South Africa can support South Sudan. This includes help with election, governance, and peace building. South Africa said it is ready to support South Sudan as a trusted partner. This is an important step. International support can help bring stability to the country. The meeting also followed yearly discussion held during the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa. Leaders had already agreed on key issues like election and respecting national sovereignty. Meanwhile, President Salva Kiir is currently in South Africa. Is expected to hold more talk, although no official schedule has been confirmed. There are also rumors about medical visit, but nothing has been officially announced. So if you are new here to Changfied YouTube channel, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing and turn on the notification bell. Well, these are the realities on the ground. People are dying in South Sudan. Families are displaced in South Sudan. Leaders are divided, but there is still hope. Hope for peace, hope for unity, and hope for a better future. South Sudan needs dialogue, understanding, and strong leadership. So, what do you think about this development? Share your thought in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Changfied YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.